Whew, ciao. What a week, what a week, what a week. And it's like, it's just not even stopping because we're already on, I think it's game week 15. And like, that's already kicking off midweek fixtures and whatnot. So you already know everything's coming thick and fast. But guys, what a super Sunday. I'm not even gonna lie. What a crazy super Sunday. So let's even just do the honours because, yeah. So Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, let's take a sip. And discuss, because that was intense. Like, I couldn't catch my breath. I was very uneasy throughout the game. Like, I was literally even standing up by the TV watching. Oh, I thought they scored. I was literally even standing up by the TV watching the game. Like, I couldn't even really sit down. Like, you would have thought I was on the pitch. Like, the way I was just standing up for 45 minutes watching the game. Like, but anyways, let's bloody get into it. So everybody knows the score by now. Obviously, Arsenal won, Chelsea won, and whoa, what a London derby. It was, yeah, it gave London derby. Full of fouls, very intense, crowd going crazy. There was passion from the players, and it was everything that he had always wanted, right? So anyways, let's get straight into it. So the lineup's released, and automatically I'm like, wait, hold on. Hincapié and Mascara, where's Saliba? So then I'm doing a little research, and then I see that Saliba's picked up another knock, right? And like, I'm like, ooh, okay, I don't really know how to feel about this. Like, it's fine when one of them is out. So either Saliba's out but Gabriel's playing, or Gabriel's out and Saliba's playing. But having both of them out, I wasn't, really sure. But I was like, do you know what? We've done well all season when, some of our players aren't fit. So it was like, okay, this is another challenge. Can we do it without Gabriel or Saliba? A big ask, but, let's put the question to Chelsea. We're top of the league. We're arguably the best team in Europe right now. So let's go band for band kind of thing. I was a little bit worried when obviously Trossard being out. I've been saying on all of my episodes how much I rate Trossard, and so yeah, we'll get onto that, but he was most definitely missed during that game. So the first half kicks off, and obviously Chelsea had momentum. They were the home team. They were at Stamford Bridge. The crowd were behind them, and they looked really up for it. So big up Chelsea. They really brought the game, and they really understood what a London derby was. I knew that it was high stakes. Like, it was first versus second. Let's give it a shot. So immediately, the first half, Arsenal just did not look comfortable. I don't want to give excuses in terms of not having Gabriel or not having Saliba, but you could tell that the back four being shaky made the rest of the team. So the back four being shaky made the rest of the team feel a little bit on edge. So you could tell that there was shakiness from the back four, and it was transferring onto the other players, right? I feel like when Saliba and Gabriel, or one of them, are in, there's confidence in our midfield players and those that are playing up front, because they kind of know that if they do press and if they do give it their all, or if they lose the ball in the final third, that the back four have them covered. But without Saliba and Gabriel, you could already tell that it was kind of like, it was a bit sticky for the team. But with that being said, at first I thought, when the game was playing, or when the game was on, and immediately after the game, I was thinking, yeah, I do not ever want to see that Hincapié and Mascara link up ever again. Like, I was fuming, right? But now that the game's kind of settled, it's Tuesday now, it's been 2 days, we've got to actually give them a shout out. Like, they've never actually partnered before. They've been thrown into the deep end, and the day that they've, been made partners, it's a very high stakes game. It's Chelsea who are second. It's a London derby and they were thrown into it. And you know, Mascara's actually only 21 years old. I don't know how old Hincapié is, but still. So I actually just want to actually shout them out and, you know, big them up for stepping in and actually giving it their all. Like, even, did you see that Hincapié and I can't remember who it was it Neto? Like, they were, you know, going at it. Like, the beef was on this London derby. The beef was flipping on. You could tell he's new, and it's like, rah, like, he already knows what a London derby means, and he's giving it that fire, that real passion. So anyways, big up Hincapié and Mascara. But yeah, Arsenal overall just didn't look comfortable in the first half. They just looked a bit nervous. They looked a bit jaded. And again, I'm not giving excuses, but, you know, having Tottenham, then Bayern, then Chelsea, it kind of, you could tell it was starting to catch up to them, you know. But again, no excuses. Big up Chelsea. They really brought the game. And they looked the better team when they had 11 men. You know, so they were pressing Arsenal in the first half, giving it to Arsenal, and I was really excited because it's like, yes, it's time for Declan Rice versus Caicedo. Like, let's settle this. And then, not long into the first half, I don't know what he was thinking, but Caicedo decides to, you know, go for a nasty challenge, and it was a red card. Let's be real. It was an obvious red card. And can we just say that the refereeing was shocking? Because I don't even think when the initial challenge occurred, he even blew the whistle. Like, I don't even think he blew the whistle. Then he pulled it back. And then after the fact, he then dished out a yellow. And then VAR were like, no, you actually need to go and review that. How he didn't spot that is really beyond me. Shocking refereeing, by the way. And also, I don't know what the hell Theo Walcott and Daniel Sturridge are drinking, right? Because that commentary, like their analysis, post-match, half-time analysis was just abysmal. Let's be real, it was abysmal because they agree it was a red card, but then they were advocating for the fact that VAR shouldn't have gotten involved and VAR were re-refereeing the game. Hey, here, my man. Like, so what is it? Is it a red card and VAR should, you know, rightfully so get involved and tell the referee, like, yo, you need to have another look at that, or it's not a red card? Because the way it was going on, it was as if they thought it wasn't a red card. And it was quite embarrassing, really, because after that, Maresca came out and said that it was obviously a red card. And then you could tell that Theo Walcott and Daniel Sturridge were trying to, like, eat their words and try and retract their statements. And it's like, no. You lot were wrong and strong and thought it wasn't... They didn't really say they didn't want it to be a red card, let's be real. They didn't want it to be a red card. But yeah, awful post-match analysis from Daniel Sturridge and Theo Walcott, by the way. Don't do that again. Get Gary Neville and get Roy Keane and get Jamie Carragher, and let's have some proper analysis. None of that shit again, please. I don't know who gave Theo Walcott a Sky Sports contract, but yeah, let's actually have that in. But anyways, Caicedo goes in with a nasty challenge, and it's like, I actually felt a little bit sorry for him in the sense where he knew he fucked up. He knew he fucked up. It was just a horrific challenge. You could tell he was looking at the Rice versus Caicedo debates beforehand, and he wanted to prove his worth. He wanted to, you know, show everybody, look, I'm the guy. But yeah, that ended up translating very horribly because he allowed that to amp him up, which is good, but it transpired in the wrong way, because it's like, now you're just committing silly challenges and now you're costing your team the game. And let's be real, Caicedo costed his team the game. 11v11, Chelsea were the better team, and it looked as though they were either going to beat Arsenal or again it would have been a draw. So yeah, I actually was really looking forward to watching the battle between Caicedo and Rice, and he mucked it up in the first half by not even allowing himself to even be there for the second half, which was kind of annoying. So yeah, he gets sent off now, And yeah, Chelsea didn't even let their foot off the brake. I mean, yeah, he got sent off, and Chelsea didn't even. They kept their foot on the gas. Like, it's not as if they got sent up and then Maresca was like, yeah, let's go and set up defensively. He actually, you know, instructed his team to continue going for it, give it their all. And you actually have to commend them, because they didn't even look like they had a player missing. And that's actually kind of what you want to see. They knew it was high stakes. They wanted to make a statement and big them up, right? But then, of course, you know, Arsenal gets the all-important equaliser and they make it 1-1. Big up Marino every time. I don't know where we collected this guy from, but somehow it's always him. Like, he just comes through every time. Saka had Cucurella on the palm of his hands, because that assist was... And I'm not going to lie, I don't think I really saw... Like, I don't think Saka done extremely well that game. But, you know, he still had Cucurella really at the palm of his hands, and we love to see it. Brilliant assist and brilliant goal. And then when that goal went in, you just started to think, okay, cool. Arsenal are going to get the winner here. Like, it's inevitable. Chelsea are 10-man down. I mean, they're 1 man down and they're playing with 10 men. And once Marino got the equaliser, you just thought, okay, Arsenal are going to have a crack at it. But again, Chelsea just kept, you know, going for it. They didn't want to just lay over and take, you know, bullshit from Arsenal. They kept going, kept attacking. They didn't, like, you know, put like 8-man defending or anything like that. They just kept going for it, really. And so you just have to commend them. And there was even points of the game where... There was even points where you thought, okay, wait, Chelsea might even nick this, because they kept attacking as well. So, yeah, big up Chelsea, I'd have to say. In all... Oh, let me even take a sip. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. But yeah. Let's even talk about the subs, right? I feel like Arteta got the subs right. You know, he's put on Odegaard, he's put on Noni, he's put on Miles, because obviously Calafiori is on a yellow and the game was just screaming red card galore. And yeah, he made the correct decision. And Miles, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. He gets booked within like 2 minutes of him even being on the pitch. Like, like that actually pissed me off, because now it's like, Miles, we get that you haven't really played much, you're young, but now it's like you're moving like a liability, and we don't like that. And I really want to be able to see the Miles from last season, because I just don't know. Like, I was watching pre-season this season, and he just didn't look all the way there. Like, he looks really off it. And I just don't know. I don't know if it's fitness levels, concentration levels. Maybe the whole, you know, being at a big club is starting to really get to him, and he's more, you know, content, and he's not training as hard. But I don't know. He just looks really off. And I feel like he needs to get back to his old ways before Arsenal, you know, do the inevitable and start considering putting him out on loan. But yeah, he gets a yellow, fuming. Noni, he absolutely did fuck all when he came on. Like, if anything, the Chelsea players looked more amped up than he did. And that's what Arsenal fans wanted from him. You know, he was getting... I can't lie, the Chelsea players were really doing up thuggery. The tackles were coming in from left, right and centre, and it was a proper derby, innit? They were moving very aggressive, and they were tackling Noni from left, right and centre. He got into a little scrap with, I think it was Fofana, and then... If I can lip read correctly, Noni goes, oh, why are you acting when, you know, Fofana steps over him and starts to like give him the, you know, the big un. And it's like, I get that, man to man, and it's like, in the real world, it's like, why are you acting, innit? But let's be real, in the football world, Noni should have been doing what Wesley Fofana was doing. You should have been giving him all of the stick. You should have been coming like you were the big man. But no, you let your former team bully you. Like, he just didn't look like he was ready for Stamford Bridge. And that's just not the way to gain the heart of Arsenal fans, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he needs to take a leaf out of Kai Havertz's book. Let's be real, he needs to. So yeah, that was that. So Arsenal just didn't even really look like they were up for it. Arteta got the subs right again, but the subs let him down because, again, they just did fuck all, and it was like, so what is it that you're doing here? Do you actually want to win this game or not? Anyways, in all, was it points dropped? If you had given me, you know, this run of fixtures and, you know, the points that we accumulated out of it prior to the fixtures actually kicking off, I would have taken it and ran like crazy. I mean, win against Spurs, a win against Bayern, and then a draw at Stamford Bridge. I actually would have been ecstatic at that. But the thing is, I feel like once the game actually kicked off, and given the fact that, you know, Chelsea had 10 men, you kind of would have expected Arsenal to win. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's a crazy result. I actually think it's an okay result to get a draw at Stamford Bridge. You know, Chelsea still haven't beaten us. Let's be real. They still haven't beaten us. And Arsenal are still top of the league. Well, for now anyways. Hopefully they still continue. But yeah, I'll be real. When Chelsea come to the Emirates, that type of game is not happening. Let's be real. When Chelsea come to the Emirates, they're gonna get tumped up. Let's be real. And some of our key players would have been back by then, particularly Gabriel, Saliba. And so I feel like everyone keeps saying that this was a missed opportunity for Arsenal, but I actually think that that was a missed opportunity for Chelsea, in the sense where 11v11, Chelsea were the better team and had the chance to actually beat Arsenal. And then they ruined it with, you know, Caicedo getting a red, but also Chelsea, you know, would have seen the lineup, would have seen that Arsenal are vulnerable. They don't have, you know, Saliba and Gabriel at the same time. You know, they don't really have Gyökeres, albeit he is on the bench, but you know what I'm trying to say. No Odegaard, obviously, again, comes up on the bench. No Trossard. Chelsea should have been licking their fingers and they should have smelled blood. They did smell blood, don't get me wrong, but I think that that was a missed opportunity for Chelsea to capitalise. But again, I think it's for both teams as well. Again, given the circumstances, given the fact that Chelsea had 10 men, that was also an opportunity missed by Arsenal to capitalise. And you thought Arsenal just nicked it when you see Gyökeres going for that header and I'm about to scream, and then Timber's in front of him, and then it's just a disaster. Guys, can we just have a little bit of communication? That kind of stuff shouldn't really be happening. And I would, if I was Gyökeres, I would be so pissed off, because it's like, Timber, why are you in my position? This is my turf here. Your turf is back there. There's no way that you are taking that goal away from me. But yeah, had, you know, Gyökeres actually had the opportunity to play that ball, it would have been a completely different story, and it would have been 2-1 Arsenal, and we would have been 9 points clear. And boy, that would have been so sweet, but it didn't happen that way. It was a point apiece, and you know, I'll take it. I'll genuinely take it. I'll be real though, Chelsea looked very good. I feel like that was probably one of our hardest games this season, if not the hardest. I think they are very good. They're a well-drilled side. They kind of remind me of, you know, Arsenal during that 2022-2023 season. Young, fresh, still posing that little bit of inexperience in the sense of, you know, getting red cards, doing rough challenges and stuff like that. Arsenal look a bit more professional in that sense, where they refrain from getting into too many heated battles and kind of things like that, avoiding red cards and just making sure, you know, focusing on getting the 3 points. But yeah, Chelsea look good. They remind me of a young, you know, 2022, 2023 Arsenal side. And yeah, they look quite good. Their players are young, which means they're only going to continue to grow into the players that they need to be. They're going to continue to gel. And yeah, I can see Chelsea winning the league in probably about 2-3 years. Reece James looked amazing, by the way. It's so good to see him back from injury, because it wasn't nice, you know, he was out for a very long time, and he's always been amazing, not even only just for Chelsea but for England too. So it's always nice to see a player like that come back from injury. Can't lie, Chelsea 11v11, they probably would have, I think it still would have been a draw, or they probably would have won. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity for them without, especially, you know, Saliba or Gabriel. But as I said already, let's be real, when Chelsea come to the Emirates, it ain't happening for them. Let's be real. We're actually going to do them in. So you should have taken your chance. You should have actually taken it. What else do I want to talk about? I think I covered everything, really. Pretty much. Yeah, Chelsea were good. And yeah, Chelsea were even playing us at our own game. Like, they were even doing well in terms of the set pieces. And wow, Sanchez, big up Sanchez. I actually want to big him up because, you know, Sanchez usually has some howlers. But during that London derby, he was really good and put a lot of effort into that game. All of our set pieces, he was mucking them up. He was grabbing them. He was just doing things the right way, and he wasn't letting Arsenal capitalise off of silly things like corners and set pieces and whatnot. He actually, you know, protected his net very well. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, United actually, you know, beat Crystal Palace, and that was a very big result for them. Shout out Man United, because Crystal Palace are not an easy side. You know, they are very well set up defensively, and they've got a killer in Mateta. And so yeah, they actually done well to win that game. And you kind of want to see more of that from Man United, but just on a consistent basis. So if United can keep that up, keep playing well, it will be a very good season for them. As for Tottenham, Lord, you lot have another sip. Because that second goal that Fulham scored was absolutely, that was a mad thing. And you know what's mad? It was I wouldn't say it was similar to the goal that, you know, Richarlison scored, but I actually think that one was worse, you know. Not the David Raya one, but the Fulham goal. That was really embarrassing, because it actually the mistake came from the keeper. And yeah, Tottenham, it's not looking good, bruv. What are you actually gonna do? But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? Woo, City, they're winning now, but boy oh boy, were they this close to losing to Leeds. No, to drawing to Leeds, sorry. And it's just the last minute, Phil Foden came out of nowhere, and you just knew the way he cut onto his, I think it was his left, you just knew he was going to score, and score he did. So shout out to Phil Foden, because yeah, that was a really good goal to get his team out of jail. So let's see what City can do. City are creeping, because if they do win this game, they will be, how many points clear? Arsenal, I think it will be 2 points difference if they win this game. So I think, anyways, let's check. I got a new phone and it's just so big, like so big for my hand. Yeah, there'll be 2 points, but obviously Arsenal will still be yet to play. But yeah, it'll be 2 points. But the thing is, I'm not going to lie, that Brentford game is going to be very difficult, because Brentford are on form right now. They've got a monster in Thiago. He is moving wild and crazy. And so it's going to be a really big test to see if, you know, Arsenal can let go of whatever happened at Stamford Bridge and, you know, renew their focus elsewhere, because there is still a lot to be done. As I said, December is now here and the games in December come thick and fast, and a lot can change very, very quickly. Hopefully they don't. But yeah, that's going to be it from me this episode. But let me know, what do you think? Were you fuming at that Chelsea result, or do you think that Arsenal, you know, were lucky to get a point out of that game? But yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next episode.